All right, YouTube, this is Mr. Mean coming at you this Wednesday morning. Kind of gloomy here in Duluth, Minnesota. My little guy is laying down taking a nap. He's out sick, running a little bit of a fever. So I couldn't take him into school today. So Daddy gets to stay home. So I'm making the most of my break time. Today's video du jour: rotted capes. What can I say? This is let's go through the initial stuff like I always do. Hardback book, stitched sewn binding. It's going to hold up for wear and tear. I bought this off of Amazon. It came a little beat up. The corners are a little dinged, but this is a relatively older game. It is not brand new. Let's see when the copyright was: 2012 to 2013 by Paradigm Concepts Publishing. Uh, this is about 7 8 years old, depending when the actual first print was. Uh, this is a very neat concept. I've not played the Arcanus system, so I don't know too much about it. And this is based off of the Arcanus system. So if you're familiar with that system, then you'll know the rules already. It's just a new veneer on top of it, and it's pretty cool. It was by Pedro Baranchia and Walt Sychanowski and Henry Lopez. I hope I said those names wrong. If I murdered them, I'm sorry. Death never held so much power. This is the blurb on the back. The golden age of superheroes has ended, not with a bang, but with a bite. The dead overran the world, and humanity's protectors are missing, dead, or worst of all, Zed. Once dismissed as the B-list superheroes, you are now mankind's last hope for survival in this horrific world where the super zombies sit atop the food chain looking hungrily down upon you. Survive the zombie apocalypse with rules based on the Origin award-winning Arcanus role-playing game system, power sets, gear, survival techniques, and a comprehensive skill system. A complete example setting, Paradigm City. So funny, the name of the company's Paradigm Concept. So kudos to them. I'm very happy to have this in my collection. I think it was either Alan, one of my Patreons, or Navandra. I can't remember. Somebody on the Discord was talking about it, and me and Brian, my good friend Brian, you guys have heard me mention him on the channel before. Neither one of us had the book, so we were like, oh. So funny enough, we both went out and bought it pretty much at the same time. So what is this? This is a one-stop shop. This is the only book you need. Their website's a little outdated, doesn't appear to have been updated um, regularly. I don't know if the company's still around. I assume they are. It appears that you can buy products off their website. I got this off of Amazon for, I think, right just below retail price of $39.99 is what the sticker here says, but I think I got it for like 30, 35 maybe. Um, it's the book's got a nice feel. I like however they did this cover. I don't know what it is, and it's embossed on the rotted capes. You can kind of see it's a little shiny there, and on the back it's got almost like a rubbery feel to it. I've seen a couple of books done this way. This one's got a little bit of shelf wear on it, but it's still in great shape, and it's very readable. The only thing I would say from what I've noticed is it is rife with grammatical errors and spelling errors. So if that's something that bugs you a lot, you may want to skip this. But if you can look past that, if you can see the diamond in the rough, this appears to be a pretty cool game. I'm a huge Supers fan. I love superhero games in all shapes and forms. Mutants and Masterminds, one of my all-time favorites. Guardians is another one by Black Tower Enterprises. Uh, really old one, by the way, no longer around or in print. If you can, luckily, you can find a PDF copy on drive-through, but I don't think you can get physical copies. But anyway, Rotted Capes is that superhero genre with a twist. And that is that you're playing in the zombie apocalypse. You're a B-lister. You're not the uber superheroes. You're not the Superman, the Flash, the Batman. You're none of those guys. You're the booster gold at best, to put it in a genre. But what's really done is they give you a nice intro to the setting. They the system seems to be explained very well from what I gathered. Book one, which is where we start on page 17 of hero creation and making your B-lister. It's a point buy system, just like Mutants and Masterminds. So if you're familiar with Mutants and Masterminds and you're looking for something a little different, this may be a good alternative. And if nothing else, it'll be good um, information because it's a point buy system, just like Mutants and Masterminds. Is it the same point buy? No, but it'll give you at least ideas and everything because there are a couple of books out there that Mutants and Masterminds still could produce and they haven't, and so or Green Ronin. So this may fill that gap if you want to add that apocalyptic, or zombie apocalypse to your Mutants and Masterminds game or any Supers game, Champions, whatever. Champions also being a point-based system. So book one delves into hero creation, power sources, archetypes, hero advancement, disadvantages, taglines, attributes, derived attributes, passive values, master value table, skills, advantages, powers, power modification, and gear. That's pretty much three-quarters of the book. We're only talking uh, 192 pages, and page 16 all the way through page 73, uh, to about page 80, I think, covers character creation and everything. So there's a lot of stuff. And then, of course, there's a default city in here, Paradigm City, that you can use as your default. So what is it? It's a superhero game where you're playing you're basically playing the sidekicks, very similar to Savage Worlds. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's the Savage Worlds superhero game that did quite well, and it was the same thing. All the major superheroes were killed off or gone, and the B-listers, the lower superheroes, have to take up. So you can see the cover. The art is not necessarily to my liking. It's a very cartoony, like Silver Age comic book art. It's not bad, and it's sparse throughout the book quite well. I mean, here's two zombies going at it, as you can see. And the art's not bad. I mean, I don't dislike it, but I'm not wild about it. It's not my style. But some of it's really good. The powers selection, I did flip through the powers in the gear section, and you can make pretty much whatever superhero you want to make. There's another example of the art that I'm not a fan of it. But your mileage may vary. You may like the art. It's just not for me. Um, here's one. There's another one there on the bottom. You may that may be your style of art. If it's your jam, then cool. Um, it's not bad by any shape of the mean. I mean, and there's of course your gratuitous zombie picture. So I would love to see a second edition of this, maybe cleaned up, maybe some new art. The layout seems to be fine. The master value table is great. Big thank you on the back to, I would assume, the Kickstarters. I'm pretty sure this was Kickstarted. It's got a nice one-page index, and the character sheet. Character sheet is pretty simple, if you can see that without all the glare. So there is a character sheet online that you can download from their website, as well as some other goodies. And then there is all of the superheroes that have been turned into zombies, as well as some NPCs. So the nice thing is, if you wanted to grab this and start playing right away, you could. There is some characters in here, you know, one man mob, the captain, which is basically a total ripoff of the shoveler from uh, that superhero movie. I can't think of the name of it now, but damn it, woman, I have a God-given talent. I shovel and I shovel well. Um, La Puga. So these are beta level threats. They're heroes. These are all basically, you could use these as player characters. They are fully statted out. Someone in another review I watched said that that's the developers right there. So that's kind of cool if that is the case. If someone knows for sure, feel free to put that in there. But there's so again, like I said, there's a lot of pre-gens that you could use. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's a so there's 11 pre-generated heroes that would all be very viable characters, and then they give us some villains. This guy's not a zombie, but he is labeled as a villain. But then I like it. What they do is he's Delta level. You're a Beta level player, so again the B list Beta. Delta is higher than Beta. This guy's, and then you have villain Z, the letter Z or Z if you're Canadian or European, and then comma D, so Z, meaning that they've been zombified. And things change when you turn into a zombie. Your powers, you keep most of your powers, but some things like, of course, you don't need to eat, and you don't need to breathe, and all that fun stuff. But there's a whole bunch of different zombies here that have superpowers. Some of them look really cool. I do like Judgment. Uh, there's a cool picture of Judgment. His hammer and sickle. Obviously, I'm getting a very Russian themed thing, and they can tell you, zombie advantages, gear, background. Yeah, Harold as the supreme hero of the Soviet Union, the judgment of the people basked in the honor and glory showered upon him by the homeland and government. The proud man, the first of the Soviet ultras, arguably the most powerful, led the fight for Mother Russia from Moscow to the deserts of Afghanistan and even to the very doorstep of the capitalist dogs and their superhuman puppets. And it goes on. There's a lot of flavor text there. But of course, he's a Zed or a zombie. So these are ultra level threats that you can put up against your players as they progress in level. Some of them kind of cool. The puppeteer, obviously, is some sort of like kid that's a zombie. So lots of good stuff in here, riddled with spelling errors and grammatical errors. But again, if you can look past that, and it doesn't keep you from doing the things, from reading the book and enjoying it for what it is, then this may very well be a very cool game for you. I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I get to add it to my library once I buy my house and I can set up my game room with all my shelves and everything. I'm going to have a shelf just dedicated to superhero games, and this will be a nice addition to that. So um, that's basically the end of the review. I hope if you have any questions, please ask. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to play it, so I don't know how it plays. I have not played Arcanus, so I don't know much about that. I don't know much about the rule system. I mean, you can read it, but I think until you play a system, um, it doesn't really, I think it's a D20 based system. Let's see here. Let's see. So page 84. We'll go look at that real quick. Uh, so you have an initiative that sets their clock to the result. Each hero takes their turn when the master clock matches their personal clock. Each hero advances their clock by the speed cost of their action. So they use a clock system. They go into explain what the clock is and how it works with initiative. Um, Combat defenses, cover, combat modifiers, armor rating. So I would wanted to see like how you do an attack. I read it, I just don't remember it. And like I said, without being able to play the game because of this silly lockdown and everything, that makes it kind of hard. Hero may perform a melee or a ranged attack, either a mundane attack or granted by powers that is not a combat maneuver in a balanced fashion with consideration to both defense and accuracy as a complex action. So you have different types of actions, which makes sense. And then you go from there. So um, I'm hoping Navander or Alan or one of those, whoever turned me onto this, I can't remember. Big shout out to whoever that was. Run a session. Maybe Brian will run a session. It would be pretty cool. I'd love to bring Seismic. He's my classic not magnetism but gravity and vibration control superhero character that I've played in pretty much every one of Brian's superhero games. So I think it's worth a buy, at least if you're a collector or you're into superhero RPGs. It can't hurt. It's going to be more fodder for your Mutants and Masterminds or your Champions game if you're looking for that kind of stuff, or even just really great ideas for NPCs or bad guys or villains for your heroes to face. There's a plethora in here, and then you can convert it over to your systems because I don't want to say it's a dead system. I think they're still somewhat supporting it, but like I said, the website doesn't appear to have been updated in quite a while. I could be wrong. If Paradigm Press, Paradigm Concepts sees this, feel free to correct me and let me know, and I'll do an addendum to the video. But yeah, super cool. Check it out if you get a chance. I know it's available on Amazon, and I believe it's on Drive Through RPG. As always, I'll put links down in the show notes. So that's pretty much the end of the review. I did want to take a moment to. So if you're not into shout outs and all the other stuff that I do at the end of the videos, then you feel free to turn it off now. But what I wanted to do is take a moment to give a shout out to all the new subscribers. So let's see. Uh, so I mentioned these guys in the last video, but I'm going to give them another shout out because it's been a week since I've done a video. So James Henderson, Rude Alert, awesome name, sir or ma'am. Pablo Mendoza, thank you. New subscriber Lord Cephalon, Shannon Leinen, Leininger, and then Eric Webb, who just subscribed 17 minutes ago. So, Eric, thank you for subscribing. Shannon and Lord Cephalon, thank you guys. As always, like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. Uh, if you leave a comment, whether it's positive or negative, I always try to reply to it. Usually, I'll give you a thumbs up or something like that. I don't delete comments on the YouTube channel unless they're just full of profanity and just downright garbage. But if it's constructive criticism, if it's your opinion, I usually leave those on there. Every once in a while when I post a new video, I get like a spammer that puts something for like porn, and those I delete because I don't know if kids watch my channel. I mark all my videos as not kid friendly just because I do use some profanity and that kind of stuff, and I don't want any parents yelling at me, and thus I don't want my kid listening to that. So I'd like to give the same courtesy to other parents, as I hope some parents do censor what their children watch. Um, as always, though, like and subscribe. Let's grow the Meanie Army. I have a very active Discord channel. Links will be down in the link to my Discord is on my YouTube channel. So if you go to my channel, you can see the little Discord link up there in the upper right hand corner. I also have a Discord. Excuse me. I have a affiliate program worked out with Drive Through RPG. And that's super cool. And what that means is that you click on my link and then you do your browsing, and whatever you buy, I get a tiny cut. It's not much, it's pennies on a dollar, but it all adds up in the end. So please use that if you like if that's your preferred way to support the channel. That's a great way to do it. Drive Through RPG is a great service. I've used them for years, and I've had nothing but good luck. And when I've had problems, they've worked very hard to resolve it and not give me any grief over it. So I'm very confident in supporting Drive Through RPG, and I hope you guys will take the time to check it out and buy stuff from them, especially in this time of lockdown. PDFs are the way to go. I also have a Patreon channel. It's nothing special. It's very simple. It's $5 a month. What that gets you is I'll reach out to you as a Patreon. I just put all the names in a hat and I draw a name out. And as new subscribers join, I drop their name in there, and then I pull their name out, and then I'll reach out to you and see if you want a copy of a rule book that I might have extra, or you want to be on one of the shows that I do. I have a monthly show starting back up again this month. Next week will be the first 2021 episode of That Game, and that's where I get two or three other people from my Discord community. Sometimes they're game designers, game developers. Sometimes it's just fellow Patreon and or Discord members, and we'll have about an hour, 2 hour long chat session about whatever game influenced us. So each member will pick, and nobody tells me what they're doing, and I don't disclose which game I'm going to pick. But then we just have a chat session about it and how this game influenced us and why we think it's a great game. So it's called That Game. So I do that once a month, and it's usually in the middle of the month on a Wednesday night. I try to do it. So um, that's coming up next week. Hopefully, I'll be able to get that recorded and start asking people if they wanna chime in. Cosmic Flux is one of my Patreons, and he's been on the show. So G Kanks is also a Patreon subscriber, and he's been on the show as well. So it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. We just chit chat about it. But aside from that opportunity, I also You get a special like neon blue designator on my Discord channel that shows that you are a Patreon. If you are a game designer or a publisher legitimately, and you've produced your own work, feel free to join the channel. I give you guys a separate Discord color to denote that you are a publisher, so it helps the fans find you. And then I fully encourage you to support your products on my channel. Whether or not you send me a copy, that's irrelevant. Um, but I do like the fact that I want the publishers on. Christopher from Black Void Games is on there. Coronis, who is the brainchild behind Chivalry and Sorcery. Stephen Turner is on there. Andy Staples, the line editor for a lot of games, is on there. So we have a lot of cool people on there. Jay from Feral Games Inc., who I consider a personal friend, and I love all the products he makes. He's on there as well, and he's active. So if you have questions about Ghost Stop or Zombie Squad or whatever game from Jay Black Iron, his new game that just released via successful Kickstarter, Stranded, the new sci-fi version of Delve that I will actually, Mr. Mean will be writing an adventure for as soon as I get the rules, and we'll put that out as a PDF, and that'll go to all the backers as well. It's just a short adventure, just kind of an intro to Stranded, but yeah, looking forward to that. So yeah, definitely stop by the Discord and say hi. We have, like I said, we have an active community, and then sometimes I'll run a one shot, and of course Patreon members get first shot, and then of course the regular Discord members get in there as well. So right now, currently, I'm running Star Wars. I'm waiting. We run that on Sunday afternoons. It's a lot of fun. And then we're running Low Life 2090 by Pickpocket Press. Mr. Steven Grodzinski, the designer and developer of the game, has been very active on our channel and is even, I believe, I did check, and he did actually post my two live plays on his channel, on his website. And he also has links on his Discord. So go check him out. If you want a nice, grim, if you want Cyberpunk and you want Shadowrun and you want to mix them together and have the best of both worlds, you want to go play Low Life 2090. I backed it on Kickstarter. I'm so happy that I did. I'm very into the game a lot, and we've got some great players, and we're tweaking the rules. And the 2.0 version of the draft is about to come out, and as soon as we get that, we'll have our next session after we have a week or so to digest it and update our characters, and I will run them in the new with the new rules. So very much looking forward to that. Uh, Stephen Turner is running a con. I completely forgot the name of it, but there is a link on my Discord channel if you scroll up a little bit for, I think it's BugCon. Uh, and it looks amazing. It looks like it's going to be fun. He's got a lot of developers in there, a lot of game luminaries that are, make games and stuff like that. And so I'm going to be running. I think I'm going to run Slay Industries. I'm a huge fan of Slay, and I just got my Kickstarter PDF, the draft. I think I'm not sure if it's the final. I think it is the final, yeah, because the book's already shipping. So, but of course, the UK is in lockdown right now with the current crisis going on in the world. So, not sure when I'll get those physical books, but let's see. So I think that covers Patreon. $5 a month. Sign up if it's in your budget. It helps out the channel. I put all the money back into the channel, and uh, I'm on PayPal. Pay me. It's the link is on the in the show notes. I'm on ZellyPay. If you want to just send a one-time donation, you can do that. If you're in the United States or in an area that accepts ZellyPay, you're more than welcome to do that. And if last and most importantly, if you're a game designer or a publisher and you want me to review your game, feel free to send me a copy, PDF or physical. I prefer physical because I have crappy eyes, so reading electronically sucks. But I don't want anybody to go out of their way or lose financial solvency in order to send me a book. Please don't do that. I mean, you're starving game designer as it is. So if PDF is the way you can go, that's fine. I love to look at new games. I have quite the collection, and it's content for the channel. So you're helping out the channel as well as getting some free free, reviews from your games. My reviews are brutally honest. If I think your game is garbage, I will call it garbage. If or a lot of times, to me, there's not a lot of bad games. There's a lot of bad GMs. So unless the game is just downright horrible, most likely it'll be a this is not a game for me. But I always try to preface my videos by saying that the product was sent to me for review or just sent to me, and my opinions are my own. I'm not asked to give it a favorable review, which I would never do anyway. So if that's your gig, don't even bother sending it to me because I won't do it. But other than that, guys, I do this for fun. I do it for you. I do it for me. I hope you enjoy the content. If there's something you want to see, if there's something you want to see reviewed, especially small press, indie press game, let me know. Put it down in the doobly doo down below, and we'll do our best to do it. So, without further ado, as always, thank you so much. Peace and hair grease. Uh, Wear your mask. Stay safe. Stay indoors. Limit your contact. Let's get through this pandemic together. Play more games, and let's get back to where we can all sit around the gaming table and have fun. So, as always, I love you guys. Thank you so much, and peace and hair grease. And as always, be nice.